Okay, do you want me to do it? No, just leave it go. Just leave it be. You have to okay it.
Okay, all righty,
Oh, the little thing didn't.
Okay, the recording.
that's okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm your Cooking Without Looking TV show host, Alan Preston. Today, I'm joined by our guest host, Erica Kress. Erica, welcome.
Hi, Alan. Thanks so much to everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, Erica, I'm a little curious. What kind of a cook are you? Do you like to take your time or do you like to get things done quickly?
Oh, well, I'm definitely the kind of cook that gets excited when I see instructions for, air fryer or a microwave. I'm here for it. And what about yourself, Alan? What kind of cook would you say you are?
Well, I kind of look at it like there are people who live to cook and there are people who cook to live. And I'm one of those who cook to live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's perfect because today we are going to introduce you to a revolutionary microwave gourmet cookware that's going to help you cook without a lot of the hassle.
Well, I guess if you're into kind of a cook who only uses a microwave for popcorn or leftovers, you might like to listen to this and it might be interesting.
For sure. For sure. Do you want to tell us the name of this amazing cookware?
Yes, tell me about the name of your amazing cookware.
It is Anyday Gourmet Microwave Cookware.
If you don't click on
And anyway, it frees up your time so you can focus on all of those other 1,001 things you've got on your to-do list.
That's right. It makes it fast and easy to cook delicious and healthy meals with your kitchen's most powerful tool, the microwave.
Ah, it's about time you put your microwave to work. I use mine all the time.
And especially for people who are blind, visually impaired, low vision, or even new to blindness, this kind of cookware can be a real godsend when we have already, other things that we're trying to learn and adjust to in our lives.
Well, for today, one lucky Cooking Without Looking TV show audience member will win an 8-piece everyday set, $160 value.
That's right. And as a reminder, all of us here at Cooking Without Looking TV show are blind, visually impaired.
So let's begin today's Cooking Without Looking TV show, Anyday edition. Erica?
Yeah, today we are welcoming Lynn Coates, and she is an avid everyday cookware user. Hello, Lynn.
Lynn, just unmute.
Okay.
Lynn is fortunate. She has her very own cameraman. I'm not that lucky. All I got is my guide dog, and she doesn't know much about operating cameras.
Exactly.
Okay,
Did we get it? No, I don't think we got it quite yet.
she's gonna do it.
Yes. What is it we're cooking today?
See, I know Lynn has a special recipe from the Anyday Cookware cookbook for us. That's going to be exciting.
She's connecting here.
Okay, Lynn is going to build up this anticipation.
Sometimes it just goes that way.
That's fine.
Yes.
Well, then, Danielle, tell us a little bit about it while we're waiting for Lynn to pop back in.
Yeah, we can introduce Danielle, a general manager from Anyday Cookware. Welcome, Danielle.
Absolutely. Hi, Erica. Hi, Alan. Thanks
Hello,
for
Danielle.
having me. So
Yeah.
exciting to be
I'll
on the
be
Cooking
right
Without
back.
Looking show. Um, Anyday Cookware was founded by Steph Chen, who was actually stumbled upon microwave cooking accidentally. She and her family were making chicken and were kind of like running up against some time constraints, and they decided, why don't we maybe just try to cook it a little bit faster in the microwave and then finish it in the oven? And so they put it in the microwave, the lid on top, and they found that when they took it out of the microwave, it was actually perfectly juicy, super delicious. And they couldn't believe that what they had in their bowls was just like a beautiful, perfectly cooked chicken. And so that's how Anyday was born. The idea for Anyday was actually chicken cooked in the microwave, if you can believe it. I know that's a crazy thing to think now, but it actually is one of the best ways to cook any kind of beef. But Anyday Cookware is microwave cookware that is made from glass. It's very, very sturdy borosilicate glass, which means that it can handle the temperatures that your microwave will throw at your cookware. It has a very sturdy and tight sealing lid that you can actually, when you push down on it, you hear a very nice like whoosh sound. That means that that's a nice tight seal. It keeps in moisture when your microwave is cooking the food. And you can pop up the knob so that steam escapes. So that means that it's a very safe thing to cook with in the microwave. So you won't get any explosions, you won't get any splatters.
Okay.
And then you can also store your food right in the same dish. And you just push down this knob, it creates a vacuum seal, and it keeps your food super fresh in your refrigerator. And then the coolest thing is that you can just pop it right back in the microwave if you want to reheat it.
Can you hear me?
It's one of Yes, we can,
Oh.
Lynn. Hi.
Hi, Lynn.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I don't know
You're
what happened.
fine.
You're back.
Welcome,
see us?
Lynn. We're so glad you're here. Could you tell us a little about yourself?
I feel so bad.
Lynn, just no problem. Just put your video on. No problem whatsoever.
Okay, I'm trying.
The video is bottom left.
Um,
Yes,
Right here,
we're
left
still looking.
from the button.
That cookware sounds kind of amazing. There's a little knob in the middle of it. And
Yes.
if you push it down, it creates a seal. If you pull it up, it unseals it. Is that it?
Yeah, that's right. And you always want to cook with the lid up, or sorry, the knob up in the microwave so that it releases enough of the pressure / steam that builds up in the dish so that, you know, your food is safely cooking in your microwave.
Okay.
But yes, it's very versatile. You can cook almost anything in it, honestly. You can cook veggies, really easily steam veggies. You actually will eat a lot more veggies once you get this cookware. I know I have. You can make grains like rice and quinoa and oatmeal, and really beautiful, if you can believe it, fish in the microwave. I know that's kind of one of the office no-nos is don't ever cook fish in the microwave. But actually, Anyday allows your fish to steam very beautifully and gently, so you don't actually get those fish scents when you make fish in the Anyday dishes in your microwave.
Certainly would be a lot quicker than my toaster oven.
Good.
Certainly. It definitely is.
Let's see, do we have her on yet?
No, why don't we go with Danielle's recipe first?
All right.
Great. Yeah. I mean, maybe
Danielle.
I'll talk a little bit about my time at Anyday. I, just like most people, was a total skeptic when it came to microwave cooking. I never thought I would be the kind of person that would cook in the microwave or even really have a microwave. And then Steph, the founder of Anyday, got in touch with me to handle Anyday's marketing. I started my career as a food writer and food editor at Bon Appetit magazine and New York magazine. And so I considered myself a foodie, you know, big time. And so, you know, when she got in touch with me, I was like, I don't know if microwave cooking is my thing. But then I saw the product and what it could do and how high quality it truly was. And I started to use it, and it totally changed the way I cook, completely changed the way I cook. Now I know that, you know, if I want to add some vegetables to my dinner, it's going to take me 3 minutes and not 20 minutes if I roast it. It helps me cook for my daughter really, really easily. You know, I make her 2-minute oatmeal in the microwave and just serve it in the same dish to her. There's just so much you can do with this cookware. And I'm just so excited to share it with you. I think one of the biggest things that I have to tell you about Anyday is that previously it came in a circular shape. Now we're offering square dishes like this one. And this is the game changer because you can fit so many different types of foods in your Anyday dish. What you can do here is things like casseroles are really nice in this square dish. Long veggies like asparagus and carrots, or like, you know, bacon, which is one of my favorite things to cook in the microwave. It gets so crispy and delicious. Blondies and brownies are great in the square dish. And, you know, you can just fit more in these square dishes because of the size. So I'm so excited to introduce these new dishes. They just launched a couple weeks ago. And so we have a lot of like kind of casserole, almost like retro inspired recipes now on cookanyday.com that you can find and make in actually any dish, but it's best in the square dish. So I can show you one of them. Does that sound good?
Danielle, I understand that you're going to show us how it's done by preparing your no boil 1-dish baked ziti. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
That sounds good.
Yeah, this is truly kind of the easiest dinner you could make. And when I think of baked ziti, I think of, you know, just many, many steps. I have to get out a pot and put it on the stove and wait for the water to boil and cook it. Just there's so much to, you know, there's so many dishes that you have to dirty and there's so many steps that you have to take. But with the microwave and just this one dish, you can make it so easily. And it's almost like, you know, anybody could make it. So let me just set up my area. I actually have a couple different sizes of the square dish that I wanted to show real fast. This is the small one. This is the medium one, which I'm going to be using to cook. And then this is the big one. So this fits a huge volume of food. But I'm going to use the medium square dish today. And so I will.
And Danielle, something I was told about your cookware is that it is, to describe it, it's glass. Because I've seen other microwave products that are, you know, plastic, but yours is a little different. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So most microwave cookware, in fact, almost all microwave cookware on the market today is made of plastic. So I'm sure you've seen bacon cookers and the Fasta pasta cooker, things like that are usually single use. So made for one type of ingredient, and they're also made of plastic. And lately, plastic has kind of been in the news when it comes to cooking. Maybe I'll just put my face up here just while I'm speaking. It's been in the news because researchers have found that actually when you heat plastic, even in quote unquote microwave safe plastic cookware, like millions and billions of microplastics actually get into your food and contaminate it with kind of disgusting toxic plastic. And nobody wants that in their food, right? So our cookware is made of 100% non-toxic materials, being very high quality, very thick borosilicate glass, very, very sturdy. And it will not ever interact with your food, which is the nice thing about glass, is that it's not reactive. The really sturdy lid is also made of silicone inside. So that is what creates that really tight seal around the dish. And then a metal rim, which is also a mechanism that helps keep that seal super tight. And the metal is something that actually kind of freaks people out. And I totally understand, because I was grown up, you know, I heard metal in the microwave, never do it, which is honestly generally pretty good advice. But some metal actually can go into the microwave. Our stainless steel rim is a smooth curved shape, which does not create a reaction in the microwave that would, you know, make it spark. Actually, a spoon also would not make a reaction, or even often baking sheets will be fine in the microwave. But, you know, we have tested this product millions of times essentially. We know that this is safe. So no worries about putting this metal in the microwave. The lid is really what makes this product special. So I want to make sure everybody is totally comfortable with this metal in the microwave. And you'll I'll demonstrate it with, you'll be a little bit more comfortable, obviously, once the product comes out and you didn't hear any explosions happening in my kitchen. So yeah, I think I would love to get started making the ziti. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
please do.
Okay, great. So I'm gonna tilt my camera down so you can see it. So what I'm gonna do is I have my medium square AnyDay dish. I am gonna put pasta and water in this dish. So it's a cup of pasta and a half cup of water. I have a 3/4 cup of Rayo's marinara sauce. You can use any jarred tomato sauce you'd like, but I really love Rayo's.
Yep.
It is so delicious. I'm just gonna give that a bit of a mix. So right now, the pasta is a little watery because there is some water in there, but again, I'm putting raw pasta in here. So the pasta is gonna absorb all that water and that liquid and get really nice and thick. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt because I love salt. And now all I'm gonna do is just cover this with, oh wait, no, I forgot. So one thing that is the best of baked ziti is that it is very creamy and delicious. So right here I have some ricotta. It's about a half cup of ricotta. I did a little bit more because I like it extra creamy. And then I'm gonna add just a tablespoon of Parmesan to that. Actually a little bit more because again, I really like cheese. I'm just gonna mix that up. It smells, oh my gosh, so good already. And now all I do is dollop this little cheese mixture onto my pasta. So again, this is very much just like put everything in the dish, set it and forget it. And the nice thing too about microwave cooking generally is that you just put it in there. You don't have to worry about something boiling over on the stove or burning. You just it stops cooking as soon as that timer goes off. So it really is a worry-free method for cooking. All right, so now I just put the lid on. Make sure the knob is lifted here. So definitely lift that knob, make sure that is nice and up so that the steam can escape. Hey guys, okay. And now I'm gonna just take my dish and put it in the microwave for 8 minutes. Actually, let me just triple check that timing. Sorry, 10 minutes on power level 8. So I can talk a little bit about adjusting your power level. You can probably hear the beep of my microwave as I put it in. I'm gonna close it up and I'm gonna put it on for 10 minutes. Power level 8. And there we go. And now it just goes. And now I can talk to everybody about power levels in your microwave if that's all right.
Interested in knowing?
Yes, absolutely. So, on your stove, you wouldn't just cook everything on full high heat, right? Or in your oven, you wouldn't broil every single thing that you cook in there. Your microwave is exactly the same. And a lot of people don't know this, but your microwave can actually cook at different heat levels. What that is that your microwave, for most microwaves, gently cooks food by turning the microwaves on and off at certain intervals. So if you just hit kind of like your express button or just do, 2 minutes start, that's going to be full high heat. So it's like turning that, that stove dial all the way up to full heat. A lot of foods actually benefit if you turn your power level down a little bit so that the food gently cooks. So it's getting microwaves some of the time, and then the other time it's just residual heat that's cooking the food. So something like pasta, if we're going to cook it like, lid on, that benefits from it so it doesn't boil over. Something like rice, hydration is really important when it comes to rice, so that you want to do it really gently so that it absorbs and has time to get nice and soft. Things like even like proteins, chicken and salmon, you'll get a bit, of a chewier texture if you do high heat. It's not impossible, and if you are okay with a texture like that, it's super fast, and you can totally do that. But if you want a beautifully cooked kind of medium rare salmon, cooking it at power level 5, say, is actually going to yield a much nicer texture. That's something that's similar to a slow cook in the oven. So power levels are actually pretty important to learn if you're going to go deep into microwave cooking. And they can be a little difficult to figure out. You might have to fiddle with your microwave because every single microwave is different. So that's something that's it's a little important to just make sure you're comfortable with that before you cook a recipe that requires it, like rice. If you cook rice on full power, like a normal type of rice, it will burn and it will be kind of scary. It will, smoke up the kitchen. It will smell like it's burning. So we don't want that. But yes, you definitely, if you're interested in kind of going deeper into microwave cooking, learning about power levels and how to change yours is pretty important.
You have a cookbook that goes along with your cookware, is that right? Does that talk about these power levels too?
Yeah, so we have a cookbook. It doesn't come with every set, but it's available online. Oftentimes we do run promos on it. And it does talk about power levels and how best to change them. Yeah. And we talk about it a lot on our site as well, because it's one of the most important things to learn when you want to really harness the power of your microwave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm-
Talk to your mom.
Uh-huh.
You said, why did you go to over here to Beta? Because over there, they ain't got no X-rays or.
I'm not hearing that real well. What was that? There was a question. I know there was. I couldn't hear it very well. Would you repeat that, please?
Well, I have a quick question for Danielle. With this recipe, how much is this going to yield? I mean, I'm sure one very hungry person, or what would you say
Yeah.
for suggested serving of this one?
Absolutely. So I'm making a smaller one, 1 to 2 people, depending. One very hungry person or 2 pretty hungry people, I'd say. If you wanted to feed more, absolutely, that large dish is gonna be the one that you want to use. But this is a really nice, main with maybe a salad or a side of broccolini. But I like to make leftovers, but this is going to be my lunch, so I didn't want to eat too much.
That's perfect.
When you adjust the amounts, you have to adjust the length of time you cook it also, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Just like on the stove or in the oven, oftentimes, like when you have more, you have to cook it for a little bit longer or adjust the power level to be a little bit higher. There are, very few recipes that don't require that. One is kind of like spinach, actually. It's probably not surprising. Takes 2 seconds to cook. Kind of no matter what volume you make. Actually, one of the best ways to use our bigger dishes, so we have an extra large round dish, is to cook an entire, Costco size tin of spinach, and then it cooks down to like a single portion. You know how spinach does that. It's just a great way to use the AnyDay, is to get all that spinach in.
That's kind of interesting, yes.
Yeah.
And I think it's just amazing that you just turned it on and you don't have to pause to give it a stir or, check on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oftentimes, microwave cooking is so hands-off. Sometimes we do say, give it a stir in between just to make sure that everything's cooking nice and evenly. But something like this, it's just going to go on its own easily. And, what I would be doing now is playing with my 2-year-old and tending to her while this, and not worrying at all about something catching on fire or something burning on the stove, which is something that I've value so much as a busy parent, and also it just makes food so much faster. So if I am rushing from getting her at preschool to an activity, I can just pop something in the microwave in between those things and know that when I come home it's going to be done.
Great.
I kind of like the idea that I can reach into the microwave with a glove on and pick up the dish, and it's only the dish that's hot. I'm not going to burn my hand on the side of the oven.
Yes, that's such a good point. Because when the microwave is done cooking, everything dissipates. So nothing in there is going to be hot except for your dish. But that is actually a wonderful note, Alan. Our dishes, though they are heat resistant, meaning they're not going to crack if they have a intense heat fluctuation inside the dish, they are hot when you take them out of the microwave because of all that steam that's generated in there. So we recommend using mitts. These are Anyday's own mitts. They're called Any Hand mitts because you can put them on any hand. And they have these really nice little silicone dots that are anti-slip. So you can grab any dish from anywhere. I know a lot of people have microwaves over their stove, so it's easy to get it from any angle. But you can use a dish towel or a regular oven mitt too.
Well, technically, it's not the dish that's getting heated in the microwave, it's the food. And because of the temperature of the food, it is transferring that temperature to the dish.
Yes, that's a great, great way to segue into how microwaves work. Microwaves actually heat the water molecules inside food itself. So that's what makes the food cook super fast. So there's no heat transfer happening. So like when you put something in the oven, the heat molecule, all the molecules have to kind of wait until the heat is transferred into them. With microwave cooking, it just immediately affects the water inside the molecules itself. So it really like starts the heating process instantly, which is neat. And then also then heats food around it. And then also, of course, like the dish gets heated as well because of all the steam that's generated. But then once that microwave turns off, the food stops cooking immediately because those water molecules stop being agitated. The only thing is that sometimes you do get some residual cooking because steam is trapped inside the dish. So if you want something to stop cooking, just take the steam off or the lid off and it will stop cooking like pretty much immediately.
Now, I've had a problem with my microwave. It's got a turntable in it that goes around, I don't know, maybe once a minute or whatever. But from time to time, in fact, most of the time, it seems to heat only in certain spots in a dish. If I'm reheating something, why does it do that? And is there a way to get around it?
Yes, that's such a good question because microwaves that are inside your microwave are bouncing all around like this. So it's not just kind of like, in your oven, the heat is all over the oven, right? So it's pretty even. In the microwave, those waves are just kind of coming in and out. Just think of it like almost like a laser coming through your food. And so, which is kind of crazy, right? So turntables try to help that by making your food revolve and therefore being more likely to hit one of those kind of like beams, microwaves. But the Anyday, when you put the lid on, helps trap that steam. And then the steam creates a much more even cooking experience. So when you have something with a really tight fitting lid, it not only keeps the moisture in the dish, it keeps the moisture circulating in the dish as well, so that your food is much more evenly cooked and you're way less likely to get those cold spots. In fact, you never get a cold spot with the Anyday. So Alan, we're gonna have to get you some dishes. Make sure that you don't get those cold spots anymore.
Right. How are we doing on our 10 minutes at level 8?
That's right. We have 5 seconds left. So let's see how that is, because I did the lower end of the timing. So you hear that that ding means it's done. I'm gonna open it up. Oh my gosh, this looks amazing. It smells so good. It's very steamy. I'm glad I have my mitts on because otherwise my hands would be a little hot. I'm so excited. I'm gonna lift this lid with my mitts because it is hot. Delicious. I think I'm gonna give it a stir and maybe give it a couple more minutes because I'm seeing that I'm feeling our noodles and they're just a little undercooked. So I'm just gonna give it a quick stir, but our ricotta, everything smells like it's melding together beautifully. Our ricotta is melty. I just need just a couple more minutes here. And then after this cooks for just a couple more minutes, I'm going to top it with some mozzarella cheese and get that nice and melty.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to stick that back in the microwave. So that's, that's kind of the beauty of microwave cooking is that you got to really do a recipe a couple times to get that timing perfect. But my microwave is needing a little more time from what we are recommending on the site. So we did say 10 to 12 minutes. So we're going to have to go a little bit more in that 12 range. So just a couple more minutes.
Instead of the 10.
Yep. And now I know.
Microwave. I've seen one that pulls out like a drawer like that.
Yes. I personally don't love it because it takes so long to come in and out. I'm just going to put 2 minutes and put it on power level 8. So just a couple more minutes. But then after that, Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
I have a question.
we have an audience member here, Juan Medina, and he has a question for you.
Oh, yes, of course. Hi, Juan.
Yes, hi, thank you for taking my my call. Yes, so I've never heard of this product. It sounds really, really cool. So my question is, can you make like macaroni and cheese and stuff like that? Or does it have to be specific stuff? Only because I do a lot with the microwave, but I have used another product for like macaroni and cheese, and
Mhm.
sometimes it's too watery or sometimes it's too it's one of those. It's called the Rapid Mac Cooker that we use, and we're like, well, how do we make it perfect? And we try so many
Mm.
times and trial and error. So, I just wanted to know, like, would this product be good also for macaroni and cheese, as an example?
Yes, absolutely. You can make any kind of macaroni and cheese in the Anyday. You can do box mac and cheese, any of the brands. You can do homemade mac and cheese. We even really like to warm up frozen mac and cheese in our dishes. It's a really nice way to do that too, to make sure everything comes out really gooey and tender and delicious instead of having the cold spots, which sometimes happens in the microwave. Also, you
Right.
don't ever want to microwave it in the plastic that it comes in.
And
But yes, we actually have lots of recipes on cookanyday.com that can
Mhm.
guide you, and maybe will help you with even the cookware that you have, to help give you some good cook times for your microwave. But yes, Anyday is perfect for mac and cheese. I highly recommend that.
And can you eat also from like can you because some people do this like we'll eat from the actual dish itself so we don't have to worry about the
Yes,
plates. Can you do that?
yes, absolutely. One of the best things about the Anyday dish is that you can prep in it. So make your food, you can cook in it, you can serve in it. So that means you could put it on your table to have everybody else get, or you can eat it just right out of the dish yourself. It's very sturdy and it feels like a nice experience. And then you can also serve or store your leftovers in the fridge, because that lid there is very good at keeping the food fresh. So that's something I love about the product, is that it can be used just in anything that you want to do for cooking. It's also dishwasher safe. So once it's
Oh,
done,
cool.
just put it in the dishwasher and you don't even have to worry about it.
Can you put it in the freezer too or no? I know
Yes, you
people.
can. Absolutely. You can put it in the freezer, and then once it's frozen, you can take it right out and put it in the microwave without having to thaw it at all, which is actually one of my favorite ways to use it.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for the question.
Yep.
Is it all right if I ask a question as well?
Certainly.
Okay, my name's Christy. I was wondering, so the pasta has like a 10 to 12 minute cooking time. What would
Yes.
be a cooking time for like a meat type of product, like a
Mm,
chicken?
absolutely. So it kind of depends on how much you're cooking as well as the speed at which you need it. So for
Okay.
chicken, if you're cooking for one person, actually, let me just pull that up because I know it off the top of my head, but chicken is very, very important to
Yes.
cook it at the right temperature. um, Chicken breast. So a chicken breast for one person, it would take about 9 minutes or so, at
Okay.
half power. So if you wanted to cook it faster and make it, the texture would just be a little bit tougher and not as tender,
Mm-hmm.
which some people don't mind. It would take probably about 6 minutes at full power for one chicken breast.
Okay. Thank you.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
That's something interesting. I never knew that before. If you turn the power level down, it keeps it from getting kind of rubbery, as I call it.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. It kind of gently cooks, um, the product so that it just like kind of makes it like the meat doesn't tense up as much. So it yields like a nice, very tender piece of chicken, which my mind gets blown every single time. And now I just actually have this
Right. Let's
this
see how that
rigatoni here.
fish dish is.
It's perfect. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna top it with some cheese. And I am going to cook it just for another couple minutes. I could actually just put the lid on and let the cheese melt. And I think actually I might just do that because that's easy. But if you wanted to really cook it, or if you wanted to put it like under a hot oven or something like that, you could totally do that. But I'm just gonna, I think, just put the lid on.
And take it right from there to the dinner table and serve
Exactly.
dinner for two, it looks like.
Exactly. Dinner for two is served. And I barely did anything. I was just kind of sitting here with you all. Absolutely.
That was absolutely amazing.
We have one more question, Alan, over here.
Yes.
Miss Sue, she just popped off. James.
Sorry about
that. Can this go in the oven? And what are the different sizes? I saw your sets, which I'm gonna get someone that for their birthday. That sounds like a perfect gift for like a college dorm or any people.
Absolutely. And we do have a college set. Yeah,
Oh.
so it can go in the oven. Absolutely. It's made of borosilicate glass, which is what Pyrex used to be made out of. It's not anymore. But it used to be. But it is very safe to go in the oven. In fact, one of my favorite ways to use the AnyDay is that you just quickly cook something in the microwave and then you put it under a hot, broiler to brown it up. So that's like a really kind of fast way to make something that you would normally cook in the oven for a really long time. Actually, one of my favorite ways to use this is scalloped potatoes. I don't know if anybody's a scalloped potato fan, but oftentimes it takes forever to cook in the oven. And then, you eat it and oftentimes it's undercooked after an hour plus of baking. But with AnyDay, you can cook it in under 20 minutes, which I always love for a holiday. But in
I have a
terms
question.
of, sure.
My name is Micah, and scalloped potatoes maybe have my question, kind of. So I do a lot of cooking. I cook a great deal. I'm admittedly kind of a snob when it comes to microwave cooking, but when I heard about this, it got me very curious. I'm one of those that, I do like everything fully from scratch, including scalloped potatoes. I just made some yesterday. In fact, my question is, do you have like feedback from foodie people like myself, whom have given this a try and have decided, hey, this is actually, a really great addition to our repertoire of tools and skills? Do you have feedback on that?
Absolutely. Yes. And like when people who are like us, big foodies, decide to try AnyDay, they're like, oh my God, like I can't believe that I didn't have this in my kind of arsenal beforehand or in my like kitchen repertoire. So people, will make like baby potatoes, then smash them and put them in the oven and make them really crispy. But that just saves a step of boiling water and, wasting water and all that stuff. Or, we were talking about Chinese egg custard before everybody jumped on, just, Renee and everybody else. And that yields a incredible restaurant quality, delicious Chinese egg custard that you'd have to use like, a water bath and a traditional steamer and stuff like that to create something like that without a microwave. So actually one of the biggest foodies in the world, David Chang, you probably know David Chang,
yeah,
has partnered with us. Yeah, his noodles. Oh, and we have recipes for his noodles actually on our site, but he's a big AnyDay fan. He was a huge launch partner for us, and he said it's indispensable to his cooking. Actually, on our YouTube channel, you can find a ton of David Chang videos of just him using our cookware, making some really, really amazing food from it. So, yeah, it's a great question. I think it's the hurdle to get over, the mental hurdle of cooking in the microwave is a big one. But once you kind of accept it, it is just amazing to use it as a shortcut, as well as just to cook full meals.
Right. And secondary, we're talking about pasta a bunch, and the person just put up a question about raw pasta.
Sure.
Does this also do well with gluten-free pasta?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. I've made a bunch of gluten-free pasta in the microwave. And I believe we actually have some instructions on our site that is specific to gluten-free pasta now. After hearing a lot of people asking for it. That's something that we really do at Anyday is listen to the feedback of our consumers. We have 2 Facebook groups. Well, one of them is sanctioned by Anyday. The other is kind of like a fan made group, which is so cool to see. We always are listening on social there. We get a lot of emails and we take lots of suggestions from our customers. Our test kitchen is actually, you asked about foodies. It's led by a woman who's cooked in Michelin-starred kitchens around the country, and most recently at Bouchon. She was there for about 10 years. And so she takes, flavor profiles and textures very, very seriously. And we have probably the most robust database of microwave cooking recipes and techniques that exists right now on the internet. So there's definitely, yeah, and she's the one that responds to any test kitchen inquiry herself. So we are constantly, in contact with our customers.
Danielle, this is Lynn. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hi, Lynn.
Hi. Okay, I just have a question. The gluten-free pasta, is that the pasta made out of lentils and chickpeas? Is that what the pasta you're talking about?
I think it actually it can be made of a lot of different things.
Okay.
But yeah, I think brown rice is one of the main ingredients on some of them. Lentils, definitely. I know there's a lot of different types, so I have to kind of go into our site to make sure that.
That's fine. I can do that. Because my
favorite
roommate's
is
a
corn and
vegetarian. So.
Oh, corn and quinoa. Yeah, absolutely delicious. I'm actually going to take a bite of this because I can't resist. It smells so good.
Yeah,
I wish
please.
I could join you.
I know I'm coming over with a side salad.
Oh my goodness. It's so good. It tastes so delicious. The cheese is super melty. Oh my gosh. And it smells so delicious. The
bet
pasta's
it
perfectly
does.
cooked. And I just can't believe that I just put everything into the dish and cooked it with the press of one button. It's pretty nuts. I don't know if it's just absolutely, cheese is getting all pulley. Oh my goodness. I love it.
And I
I'm
think
so
it
happy right now.
was, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 ingredients in less than, 12 minutes, just so amazing.
Yeah, it's fast, it's easy, and it's dinner, without really much effort at all.
Mm-hmm.
You spent most of your time talking to us, very little time
I
actually
know.
cooking. I think
It's so
that's great.
true. It's so true. And now I'm just going to spend my time eating.
I have one more question about the pasta. If you wanted to add a meat into like a pasta, would you have to cook them separately to get the timing right, or could you cook something like that all together?
That's a great question. Oftentimes you can cook it all together. Actually, I think we have a bolognese on our site. And that is it's also similarly nice, quick. We have quick bolognese. Here it is. Let me pull it up. We developed this a while ago. Yeah, it's just combine all ingredients in the Anyday dish, stir, and cook.
That's
so we have a
amazing.
nice fast bolognese. Yes, we love it. And we have like a queso that has some meat in it, which is delicious. There's a lot of meat recipes. And they're just absolutely insane. They're so good.
Danielle, you have a question from Kayleen Chu?
Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I love Anyday Cookware.
Oh,
I
thank you.
was skeptical and I'm not a fan of microwave cooking except for heating until I came across Anyday Cookware, and I use it every day now. I've been very successful with steamed eggs, sweet rice by Steph Chan, broccoli, everything. The only thing I need advice on is cooked rice.
Oh, really? Okay.
I tried many ways, but I failed. So please help.
Interesting. Absolutely. I'm happy to help you. I'm also happy to link you up with our test kitchen, who will definitely be able to probably help a little bit better than me.
Thank you.
But it really often comes down to the power level and making sure that's right and dialed in. And
I
also
followed.
you followed it. Okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah, definitely. If you want to email me, Danielle@cookanyday.com, I will make sure our test kitchen helps you just to make sure that you're because that's the best way to use Anyday. Like I personally, it's if Anyday were to disappear out of my kitchen, rice would be the thing that I miss the most. So I want to make sure that you are
Other
getting it right.
dishes. And by the way, I own 12, sorry, 2 sets of 12 pieces. And I've just ordered the square dish and I got it yesterday. I'm gonna try. I'm so in love with
Oh, thank you. And even that makes me so happy, even if you're having some trouble with rice. So once you get rice right, your whole kitchen's gonna be any day.
And it's the definite
Can I
change.
make a comment?
Thank you, Colleen.
Thank you.
Hello,
Might I make
this
a
is Paul.
comment?
Yes. Hi, this is Paul and Fashandra. I'm Fashandra. And the comment that the lady just before me said about being a skeptic, that's me and my husband. Because we, like her, like most people, use the microwave as a tool just for heating, warming up, but not cooking. Didn't take it seriously. And we have a smart microwave now. What I want to know is, I don't believe I'm a skeptic anymore. What set would you recommend for my husband and I to? It's just the two of us.
A lot of people have.
What should we start with?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have a starter set, which is a really nice place to start. You can get it 2 large dishes, so a large deep and a large shallow. So those are kind of like the 2 types of dishes that you would definitely want to start with, because then you can cook pretty much anything just for 2 people. You could also try the medium, but you won't be able to cook as much food in those. Those are usually like, something for a college kid or somebody who's cooking just for themselves. That's a really nice one. Or if you want all of the sizes that, would be great for 2 people, the everyday set is great too, because I love making small amounts of broccoli, but then like a larger, salmon dish in a larger dish. So it's really good if you want to have kind of options. But those 2 are great, as well, honestly, as our new square dish set. If you like the idea of cooking in a square vessel better than a round one, I think square is a great place to start too, because you can cook almost anything except for grains. So rice actually is not, you can't really cook that in a square dish. That's, if you're going to cook a lot of rice, I would definitely recommend the round dishes, but the square dish set is excellent for starters as well. So you could do a square dish set with a large, deep round dish. That's also a nice option. But yeah, everything's online at cookanyday.com. Our sets are lined up, and sets come with everything from 2 dishes all the way to like 8 dishes. So there's lots of options there.
Okay, and also cookbook. How much is that? Because we want that
Our
too.
Our cookbook is $7.
Okay, yeah. So we will be placing an order, and if I really love it as much as I think I will, a lot of people will be getting that for Christmas.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And we'll definitely have a nice Black Friday sale. So keep out for that. Actually, right now we have an Amazon Prime sale going on. So if you want to check it out before that, it's a great time to purchase.
You're using
one thing.
You're using definitions like a small, medium, large.
Yeah.
Do you have milliliters or ounces for just a general reference?
Yes, absolutely, I do. Let me just quickly pull that up so I'm not mistaken. So our small dishes, and this goes for round. I wish I had them all out. I should have been prepared, but our small dishes are 2 cups. So that is, oh gosh, the volume
ounces.
is going to be tough for me. Thank you.
That's
You're
16
way
ounces.
better at this than I am. So that, holds 2 cups. Our medium shallow dish is 4 cups. Our medium deep dish is 4 cups as well. Our large shallow dish is 7 cups. Our large deep is 8 cups. And then we also have an extra large dish, which is 12 cups. And that one is probably this is the biggest dish that we put out currently. And then let me just quickly pull up our square dishes, because those are all going to be a little bit different. And those don't come in deep or shallow. They just are square. So our small square dish is 3 cups. Our medium square dish is 5.5 cups. And our large square dish is 10 cups. So all, great They vary in their volume, and you know, depending on what your cooking needs are, can kind of flex to that.
Thank you.
Ellen and Erica, we'll take one more question. We've got one left over. And Danielle, if you don't mind, if you could stay around for when Lynn is cooking as well, for extra questions, we'd appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, Juan, we'll take your question now.
Juan?
Oh, okay. Hi. So where can you order this? On Amazon, or is there an 800 number somewhere?
Yeah, you can order them on Amazon. That our products are listed on Amazon, but you can get a better deal at cookanyday.com if you order direct from us.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think we're gonna.
Thank you very much, Danielle. We really
Yeah.
appreciate that. We hope you're
Yeah.
gonna stick around for a little bit. We still
I will. I'm
have
just gonna eat.
another chef who likes to use your cookware, who'd like to demonstrate something. Am I right, Erica?
Yes, Lynn Coates, we want to say hello to you and welcome you. And yes, we know you are an Anyday Cookware user. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Lynn Coates, and I live in Southern California, and I have been using Anyday for since it came out, actually. And I have made lots of things in it. And my favorite is I've made different soups in it and taco beef, and it's just, I love it. It's just been amazing. And this pasta dish that I'm going to make, I've made before, so that's why I chose it.
Great. We're glad you love it. And how do you feel using it as a consumer who is blind?
I think that as a consumer who is blind, it is a game changer, because a lot of independent living facilities, they teach microwave cooking, but they don't teach microwave cooking in proper cooking vessels. And so what you get is usually something that's tough, or you know, it doesn't, you could say, oh yeah, that was definitely made in the microwave. So I think for blind people, it helps because you're able to cook full meals. And if you're not comfortable using the stove, you know, the microwave is a much safer alternative. I have to say, if you are blind or visually impaired and not comfortable with the aspect of the cookware being made of glass, just know that this is heavy duty glass. This glass actually, along with the lid and your ingredients, you would not be able to tell it's cooked in the microwave. You just can't.
Great. Well, if you're ready, I know I'm ready and my stomach's ready.
I'm ready to see what you've got today too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please walk us through your recipe straight from the Anyday Cookware cookbook.
Yes, Lynn.
All right, so we're making tomato butter pasta. And I'm making a double batch because there's more than just me in this house. So what I have done is I've used the largest square dish, and what I have done is I've broken the 8 ounces of pasta that it calls for in half. Sorry, Italians. And it's in the dish, right?
Lynn,
Excuse
it's
me?
Renee. It's Renee. Could you move a little to the right so we can see your beautiful face?
Oh, it's the right? Right
To
here?
your right. To your right. Yeah. That's it.
A little bit more.
And
A little
so
more. A little more.
okay. Right here?
Yes.
Pretty
And then,
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, and then I have the pasta already in the dish. So now I'm going to add, and forgive me for turning, I'm going to add the water, and that's I believe it's over 2 cups of water. So I'm adding the water to the pasta in the same dish.
Have you
Okay.
pre-measured these ingredients?
I'm sorry?
Lynn, did you pre-measure these ingredients?
Yes, I did.
Good, okay.
Okay, and now I'm going to add the salt, but I took the liberty of adding a little chili flakes and a little Italian seasoning because I like chili flakes. And so I'm just gonna sprinkle that on top of the pasta and the water. And so that's in. And then I'm going to add my butter. And this is like 6 because it's a double batch. So it's 6 tablespoons of butter in the
Did you
pastas.
use imitation butter, you know, like
No,
those are the kinds, same measurements? Okay.
no, I use the real thing.
Oh, I love the real thing too, but my cardiologist
Yeah.
said stay away from it.
I see. Okay, and then the onions on the stove right there. Oh. Okay, and then to save time, I bought the chopped onions already chopped up.
Nice.
And then so okay. Oh, come on now. You know, when you want things to open up, they don't want to listen. Okay, come on.
And Lynn, let me ask, was the butter, sliced up? Do you want to separate the 6 teaspoons?
Yes, it's 6 tablespoons and it's in cubes like it called for.
Okay.
And then I'm going to sprinkle the onions over the top. Because that's what it calls for. So I'm just kind of evenly spreading the onions over the top of the butter and the pasta. Okay. And so that's on there. And come on now. Some little onions were not wanting to play nicely. And then we're going to put the lid on. So the lid is going on.
Let's see, the knob has to be pulled up to release the steam, right?
I'm sorry?
The knob has to be pulled up to release the steam.
The knob has to be lifted, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to open my handy dandy trusty microwave here. And, ooh, this is heavy. I'm going to put it on. Okay. Okay. So I have put it all in the microwave. Now I just have the pasta, the water, the salt. I added
the red pepper.
Yeah, the red pepper, Italian seasoning, and even a little black pepper. So I have that all in, and now I'm ready to cook. So we're
I
gonna
have a question.
Yes.
Did you need to mix it or
No.
you leave it, no mixing? Okay, got it.
Right.
The butter
So
is also in there, right?
yes, it says just add it in the layers that it calls for, and you don't mix it.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay.
And what is the
Okay.
cooking time and power for this one, Lynn?
The time is 9 to 11 minutes. And it is on, I don't remember it saying power level 8, but I think I'm going to do that because pasta needs to cook at a lower power rate. So I'm going to use Lady A to do this. So I'm going to Alexa.
Actually, no need, Lynn. No need. You can keep it on full power.
Okay.
Oh.
Is that Danielle in the background?
Yeah, that's
I'm
just me.
sorry.
Okay.
It's
I
actually
apologize.
the reason is because you want to actually cook this one uncovered. But if you did want to cook it covered, Lynn was correct. You can lower the power level to make it not boil over. So you can
I don't
either
know why I
not use
thought you
the
could be
lid, or you can
uncovered.
cover it and cook it at a lower power level.
I apologize, you guys.
No, that's perfect because I
Okay.
definitely would leave the lid on just as Murphy's Law, anything in my kitchen is going to boil over. So I would totally
I
use
just
the
I
lid.
just took it off. So
Okay.
Great.
okay. So I need to clear this. I didn't know it was okay. Alexa, stop microwave. Okay. Alexa, set microwave for 10 minutes. Okay. So now it's cooking for 10 minutes.
Full power, right?
So I guess, so this is all in one dish. And then after it's over, we have some San Marzano tomatoes that will go into the dish, and then you stir it up. And what I like to do is toss it with a little parm and get that all kind of meshed in there, and then it'll be good to go.
What
So-
is in that tomato dish you're going to add?
I'm sorry?
What is in that dish that you're going to add at the end?
It is San Marzano tomatoes. It is a higher grade of tomatoes. Because I believe when you make a dish that has a certain ingredient, so this is tomato butter pasta, and I found this on the Anyday website. That ingredient needs to shine. So I use San Marzano because they are a very flavorful and deep, rich tomato, and I use the crushed tomatoes with the puree. So it's going to make a nice sauce with the other ingredients that are in the dish that is cooking right now.
Okay.
Lynn's always teaching me something new all the time. And she always knows why she's doing what she's doing. And so, and I like her cookware, but I needed to see more about it. And having used Visions and other kinds of cookware, I'm really, so far, really impressed. Can I ask a question? Might I ask a question?
Certainly, please do.
So Lynn, maybe you can tell me or anybody, like when you're done with your dish in the microwave and you bring it out and you take the lid off. I know we were talking about what kind of countertop to set your stuff on. Can you set your lid in the sink, or would you not want to do that? Would it break, in other words, because it's glass?
Because of the cold water in the sink or running cold water on it.
Or even the coldness of the sink itself.
I usually leave it on the counter till it cools, and then I put it in the sink, but I'm cooking this without the lid.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
so when I take this out, I'll stir it up and then I'll add the tomatoes.
Right.
And they say you can cook it for another minute, which I might do, I don't know. And then I'm gonna add the cheese to it.
Just to
Sounds
jump
good.
in, you can absolutely put the lid in the sink, and the coldness will not affect it. The only time you really got to be careful about what you put your dish down on is when you're making something like caramel, so heating sugar, because sugar heats way hotter than a lot of the ingredients.
Oh, yeah.
And then also if you're using oil, so we have a couple of recipes that are very oil based. So we have fried shallots, which is one of my favorite ways to use Anyday, is just like frying shallots quickly. I would recommend to try to set that onto wood or a trivet. instead of like a cold counter.
Mhm.
So those are really the only two times you have to be a little bit more careful where you set your AnyDay down. So something oil heavy or cooking sugar. But otherwise, you should be totally fine to set your glass down on any surface.
Like
I wouldn't
peanut butter.
recommend a block of ice, you know, but
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
Anyday cookware can go right from the freezer or refrigerator into the microwave or oven. Is that right?
just the microwave. I wouldn't recommend the oven. That swing might be a little too tough on the glass, but because the microwave only heats the food inside and not the glass, that's totally fine. And then it will gently heat the glass to a safe temperature. So definitely freezer to microwave. Would not recommend freezer to oven.
Mhm.
But
This is Matt. May
refrigerator
I ask
now.
a question?
I
Matt, you
think
had
someone has a question.
I think
Well,
Matt had a question.
I was gonna let Alan, is that your name? I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
I was gonna go ahead and finish. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
Well,
you.
I was just making the comment, you could also go from the refrigerator to the oven, right?
I think that's okay. Let me just double check with our product team about that one, but I think that should be totally fine.
Is Colleen here? I've got another question.
I think Matt may be next, and then
Okay,
we'll
I'll
go to
wait.
Colleen.
Yes, I had kind of a couple, had a comment regarding placing your the lid onto a surface. One thing I would suggest staying away from is when you're putting your lid, if it's on a flat top cook surface, for instance, as you're moving things around, you want to make sure there's a gap in between the flat cooktop glass surface between that and the lid, because there are instances with whatever lid you have, if there's a perfect level to it, it will
Mhm.
actually suction down onto the glass cooktop surface
Oh no.
and can actually crack it or even
Mhm.
crack the lid. So
Mhm.
whenever you're having it on a glass cooktop surface or so on, you need to make sure that's got some leeway.
Oh,
Make sure that little button is pulled up on top so it won't form a vacuum like that, maybe.
That's correct. Yes.
Mhm.
Which
Mhm.
I would love to learn more about as we use them, because I
Yeah.
don't have any yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in that cookbook with all the little tips about microwave cooking in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Lynn, did you want to give us an update on the pasta? And if not, we can go to Colleen's question.
The pasta has 3 minutes and 7 seconds left.
Smells
I
good.
think we got time for another question.
Yeah.
okay. It's gonna take me less than 3 minutes for sure. I've written to Anyday Cookware in the past about using the Anyday Cookware in the air fryer, because I use air fryer, the Ninja air fryer and pressure cooker, but I just want to be safe. So I wonder if there's any information on that, using the cookware in the air fryer.
Yes, you absolutely can, because the air fryer is just a very small convection oven. And so it's definitely at safe temperatures to use the AnyDay in the air fryer. The dishes, the glass is safe up to 500 degrees. And then the lid is actually safe up to 400 degrees. So you can do any of that in the oven or the air fryer.
Okay, one last question before I go is would you consider giving us more recipes on curries? I'm a fan of curry.
Definitely, I'll let our test kitchen know. Great
Okay,
to know.
thank you. All right.
Sure.
Hi, may I ask a question?
Most certainly, please.
So my name is Preston, and I have been loving the episode so far of everything. I was wondering, I have my family does this recipe from this YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook page. They're called the King Family, and it is a chicken parmesan pasta. And I haven't been able to have it since I moved because my family, particular family member, made it all the time in a slow cooker. Um, and it involves obviously chicken and like Buffalo Wild Wings garlic sauce and Parmesan cheese and some rotini pasta. And I'm just kind of wondering how potentially to like if that could be something that could be like tested or something, or like what would be the potential recommendation of if there's anything similar in the recipe book for cooking something like that, because I'm just, concerned about, making sure the chicken's cooked, but not overcooked because you have to shred it. So it's not like a solid piece of chicken. You have to like shred it after or as it's cooked.
Yeah,
comes together.
absolutely. As a rule, anything that's cooked in a slow cooker or stewed really gently actually is great in the microwave. So anything that like requires a lot of like liquid, it's great in the microwave. So absolutely, and in fact, that's such a great suggestion. What a great recipe suggestion. Actually, something that I prepared today would be really similar to what you just described, except to add chicken. So let's definitely, I can talk to my test kitchen to see if they can develop that or at least make a recommendation so you can adapt the recipe to the microwave.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Danielle,
Absolutely.
we have a question over here. Rosemary's wondering, is the cookware all frosted? And she wants to know the reason why.
Yes, absolutely. So right now, the cookware is all frosted. There's a couple of reasons for this. One, it helps make the dishes less slippery. So it's kind of like a nice ergonomic thing, but also because it is just like a really beautiful serving experience. So that's why they're frosted currently. But I'm not supposed to tell anybody this. So
This is
maybe
a
keep it a
cooking
secret.
without looking exclusive.
It is. We may be releasing a clear glass dish next year. So keep a lookout for that. And we will, of course, let this community know if that happens. But it's just a rumor for now.
Another collection.
Yes, possibly.
Danielle, did you say they come in different colors?
Yes, Anyday has silicone on the rim as I described, and also on the knob. And that silicone comes in 3 different colors. The first is kale, which is like a greenish, a little bit of a blue-green color. The other is blueberry, which is kind of a deep blue. And the last one is black sesame, which is black. So any preference, pretty crowd-pleasing colors.
I have a question for Lynn.
Sure.
So I was saying earlier that I do all my own stunts in the kitchen. I'm a foodie. I've done one of the cooking without looking shows, and I only just recently acquired a microwave. It was a used one from someone. I haven't had. It must have been 20 years since I've had a microwave, and I got one. And then I hear you on this video talking to your microwave. What kind of microwave is that?
Okay, I just want to let you know the pasta definitely needs to be a little more al dente, meaning it needs to be cooked a little more. So I'm going to let it cook for 1 minute because it needs it to it's definitely not cooked. So we're going to cook it for 2 minutes.
2 more minutes.
Okay.
I can partially answer your question. There are some microwaves that are directly voice activated. I'm not familiar with any of the particular brands, but there are several models I know that are Alexa enabled. In other words, they're like smart microwaves. And
Smart microwave, okay.
They'll work off of your phone app or Alexa or something like that. And I bet that's what you have, Lynn, isn't it?
I believe she
You
was.
have an Alexa enabled microwave?
Yes.
You know what? What is it? Simple to use? I mean, you're talking to Alexa or your phone or whatever's controlling you, and it sounds like it's easy to use. But like I've had a couple of other devices that just didn't even cross my mind. I have a sous vide device that's Bluetooth enabled, so I can control it with a smartphone app, and the app is sometimes kind of a jerk, doesn't cooperate all that well.
Right.
Yes, I can relate.
I apologize for cooking this 2 minutes more. Pasta is kind of a funny thing. You think you got it the right timing, but I think it all depends on the weather and so I apologize.
No problem. Juan, you've had your little hand up for a while. Juan and Jane, you each have questions?
Certainly. Juan? Are you there? Hello, Juan.
Maybe he's not ready. Maybe we can.
Maybe we can go to the other question.
Oh, me. Okay. Very quickly, can you fry or grill? I'm thinking like pancakes for breakfast and eggs and steaks for dinner and deep fry maybe.
Yeah, that it's a great question. So we do actually have pancake recipes on our site. They're not like, your classic, you put it on a direct heat source, but they're very tasty and I actually love making them for my daughter. We have you said fry. You can make fried shallots and fried garlic that get really crispy. That's really the extent of frying that we've done so far in the Anyday. I'm sure that there's other ways to use it, but I would not recommend putting the Anyday in any type of hot oil, or putting it on like a grill. But you can cook foods that you would normally want to, grill or fry on a stove. But just note that you'll never really achieve a like browning in the microwave necessarily. With something like bacon, you will, because the fat in the bacon will actually like help crisp up the meat itself. So but generally speaking, crispy is not one of the things that the microwave is good at. That sometimes you just take, you cook something in the microwave and then finish it on the stove or in the oven to get it crispy.
Okay, now what I'm doing is, it is almost al dente, and they say to cook the sauce for 1 minute when you put it in there. So I'm just gonna add the tomatoes. I'm doing.
Now,
You're going
did
to
you?
add it to the pasta, right?
What?
You're adding the tomato sauce to the pasta, correct?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
adding it, and then I'm gonna stir it. How's this? And I'm gonna stir it all up. And I'm going to, they say to cook it for 1 minute. So I'm going to do that. And we will be done. The water, the one thing is, when you cook pasta, sometimes the water doesn't evaporate all together, but it does after a while. I'm going to put this in. Okay. Okay. Microwave just aren't working today. Okay. Alexa, start microwave for 1 minute. Alexa, start microwave for 1 minute. I apologize. Microwaves are not cooperating.
That's very interesting. Where did you get that Alexa-enabled microwave? Oh, did we lose something there?
So I know we got a question on the group chat about a microwave, which one to purchase.
Oh, yeah. Where did you get that Alexa-enabled microwave?
I got it over a year ago. From Amazon. And it's a Toshiba. It works for what I need it to do. Let's hope it works for what I need it to do now. I apologize. This is not the cookware's fault. I think what happens is that when you increase a recipe, sometimes the formulas may be a little off a little bit. But that's not the cookware's fault. That's the user's fault. And I am trying my best to, we will take it out and you will come on. It looks really good. It's I'm gonna use
I still keep hoping that we're gonna invent smell-o-vision one day.
Yeah, what I would do with this is I
I've
would
been after our
definitely let this
producer
sit.
Renee for that for years.
I would let this sit because you want it to absorb a little of the water that's in here. It's not very watery, but I think having it sit will what do you call it, will help. Let me have a fork.
Oh, that brings up another question.
So it has to rest, in other words, like meat and all kinds of stuff, right?
We had another question there. What, who is that?
It's Micah.
Ah, Micah, yes.
So, Danielle, the recipe guide book, whatever you're calling it, has the test kitchen kind of nailed down the precise amount of liquids per amount of pasta, say, for example, or rice, or is it just kind of wing it, or do you cook the pasta and then drain it like the conventional way? How does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. It everything is meant to reduce as many steps as possible. So the measurements for liquid versus, pasta, rice, etc., are accurate and tested. So the ratios will never be a problem. What could be a problem is, cook time or power level, because every microwave is different. So that is kind of like you have to play with the variable, because sometimes your microwave will say it's 1,000 watts, but it's actually 900 watts. Similar to like an oven, when you turn on your oven to 350 degrees, but it actually is only 300. Strangely enough, even though it feels like it should be a precise measurement, it's actually often not with a microwave. But yes, the proportions are intended so that your food comes out perfectly cooked and you don't have to pour off any liquid or anything like that. That said, we are actually coming out with a strainer that clips on to the dish really nicely. So if you do want to add a little extra pasta water for your sauce, a lot of people like to add pasta water to their sauce to make it stick a little bit better. You can pour it off directly, or if you want to rinse your rice before you cook it, you can pour it off very easily. And oftentimes, vegetables will steam in the microwave and they will have a little condensation left over. So you can just easily pour it off there too. So that is coming out next week. Again, I'm giving you guys a sneak peek. So we do recognize that there is a need sometimes for something like that.
That's really
I'm just
exciting.
adding the cheese. I'm adding cheese to it. I say to add cheese when you serve it, but I like when the cheese kind of melts. This is Parmesan, and it gives it sort of a creamy texture in a way.
Are you going to reheat it again a little bit after you put the Parmesan on it?
No, because it's hot enough that it doesn't need to be reheated.
Ah, okay.
But I don't know if you can see this, for those who
Can you
can.
bring it out and hold it to the camera so that we can see?
Okay, let me
I'm
grab
not
my.
seeing very well at all either, so.
Okay, just a second. Let me grab my wonderful Anyday mitts.
She's knitting up here.
Yes, I am. So I'm gonna take this And I'm going to. Okay. Let me know if you can see it.
A
How
little,
are we doing
little
there,
higher up
Renee?
to- Yeah, a little higher up to your chest, Lynn.
Right here?
And back up a little bit. Okay, cool. Back up a tad. All right. I think we can see it. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, man, that looks good.
I'll be
I'm
over.
hoping for smell-o-vision. Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic. And in just such a few minutes.
In just such a few minutes. And, you know, I think personally, this is a good like weeknight dinner when you don't want to cook a lot, or you just want something light. I'm just gonna test this.
I think you should.
Looks delicious, Lynn. Offer some to all of us.
It's good.
Looks
delicious, Lynn. Good job.
I'll be
Danielle-
probably having lunch.
Danielle, while Lynn is tasting on our behalf, would you remind us where we could shop for the Anyday Cookware, please?
Yes, absolutely. You can get Anyday Cookware at cookanyday.com, or you can find us on Amazon if that's where you prefer to find us. But again, our Prime Day sale is actually still happening on our website at cookanyday.com, where you can get really excellent deals. So I would recommend, if you're thinking about purchasing in the next couple days, that's the best place to do it.
Yes, Danielle, you're speaking my two love languages, food and savings.
That's mine.
I like simplicity and speed.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Lynn, for
Thanks, Lynn.
Yes,
that
Lynn, thank you
recipe.
very much.
Thank you, Lynn.
Yes, thank you very much.
And now, Danielle.
Thank
Now
you.
it's what we have all been waiting for.
Yes, for
We are
sure.
going to draw the winner of the Anyday 8-piece everyday set. $160 value. Is that right?
That's right.
How awesome. And for this, we're going to go to our creator and executive producer of Cooking Without Looking, Renee Rentmeester. Take it away, Renee.
Okay, well, we have our little bowl. Of course, it's the Anyday bowl filled with all of these people who have said, whoops, don't worry, they're all there.
Don't drop anybody out of there now.
And let's see, okay. And we'll pick one lucky person. They have to be here. Well, somebody jumped out, back in.
Need a drum roll.
Okay.
Who is our lucky winner?
Matt Schumacher.
Matt Schumacher.
Yay, thank you so much. This is so exciting.
Hey, Matt.
That's wonderful.
Yay, congratulations.
We're gonna get your name and mailing address so that the folks at Anyday can send your order out right away.
Sounds wonderful. I am so grateful for this.
That
Thank
is
you
great.
so much for this.
Yes,
Thanks,
congrats.
Matt. We'll make sure to put in some mitts as well for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
Excellent. That's wonderful.
I'm totally going to be cooking some stuff up and get some recipes together.
Nice.
Don't forget
Congrats.
to share your recipes with us.
Oh,
The
yes,
taco
absolutely.
meat, you won't regret it.
Oh my gosh, yep.
Well, congrats to Matt, and thank you to our guest cook, Lynn, and also our Anyday Cookware General Manager, Danielle Walsh for being here.
Thank you so much, everybody. It was such a pleasure. It was so much fun to cook with you all today.
Yes,
You're
thank you
great.
so much for all of this.
Thank you for the invitation. Thanks.
I will be telling my mom
You're
about
giving
this
our
company.
show.
Yeah.
And thank
Thank
all of
you.
you for joining us on our Cooking Without Looking TV Anyday edition. If you would like today's recipe, as well as any past recipes, please go to our website at www.cookingwithoutlooking.tv.wordpress.com. anyday.com. Erica?
Yeah. And if you'd like to rewatch today's fabulous episode or any of our past episodes, please check us out at Cooking Without Looking on YouTube.
Erica, did you know that if people who teach students who are blind or visually impaired, they can use any of our shows for their students at no charge?
That is very true, Alan, and actually several teachers around this country and even 74 also other countries actually do stream and watch Cooking Without Looking TV show to teach their students.
Well, Erica and everyone, thank you so much for joining us today on Cooking Without Looking. And do you have any last words, Erica?
I know there's so many other places we can watch, like Spotify, Alexa, our Victor Stream readers. But thank you so much. I do also want to say, if anyone wants to donate to Vision World Foundation and help us on our mission to change the world, change the way we see blindness, they can go to the website at www.cookingwithoutlookingtv.wordpress.com or give us a call at 305-200-9104.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us today on Cooking Without Looking, and we're looking forward to seeing you next month.
Yeah,
Erica, Danielle, and all of our guests today, thank you so much.
Have a good rest of the week too.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
Everyone for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you, Danielle. We appreciate your support.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Alan.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye,
Brian.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye
guys.
for now.